Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I'm here to talk to you about My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero Academia, chapter 99. And let me just tell you guys, I really love this chapter, and this chapter broke my heart just a little bit at the end. I thought that was such a nice little moment overall. It's probably my favorite moment in the entire chapter. But yes, we are going to do this top moment style because it helps me organize the video just a little bit. So I will cover all the little details that I found kind of interesting in this chapter, and then I will give my overall thoughts at the end. So let's get into it. Overall, it was a very funny chapter. And we open up, and just halfway down the page is Ready Mineta, his inner thoughts on his perfect plan. It's really kind of creepy how meticulous this guy is, but I really enjoy it, and his facial expressions are the best. My next moment that I really enjoyed was actually the cover page. And I know, it's kind of cheap to call this a moment, but actually post-apocalypse Ochako looks pretty cool. I wish there was a time we could use the post-apocalyptic designs, because we've had some kind of really weird looking post-apocalyptic designs before, like one in the color pages. And I just really like to see that happen, because this guy seems like he's put a lot of thought into these designs. Anyway, the next moment, and we're moving into the room stuff, was Kirishima's manly room and Ochako's reaction to it. So he has a pretty awesome room. It's on fire. There's all kinds of manly gear like a punching bag and flame curtains. And it's obvious that Ochako would react to it since she had just recently completed pretty much job training with a battle hero, a guy who's just all about the battle. So I like that that characterization stayed through and that Ochako did react to it the way she did. The next moment I really enjoyed was looking at Choji's minimalist room. And it's very interesting because he says that he had no worldly desires. And that's really interesting. That's a nice little piece of characterization. I really like that. I also enjoyed Mineta's follow-up comment about him being a pervert. Which makes sense, you know, like honestly, if you go into that room and you see that he has nothing, it's either he's a super enlightened man or he's got something deep and dark somewhere deep in him, peeps. Moving on, the next moment I enjoyed was Seiro's super Asian room. Now when I first saw it, I wasn't sure what was going on. I thought it was like a very oriental, I guess it still would be Asian because I'm thinking more like Hindu kind of stuff from the way that the patterns on the mats were. But that was pretty cool altogether. And for some reason his is undoubtedly the coolest room for some reason. And then we move into the next moment where the girls are hyping Todoroki up, and I very much enjoyed that because it just shows what everyone is thinking. Momo is clearly seeing Todoroki from a point of respect by saying he's the strongest. Ashido, well, she's just looking at looks, and Hagakure just kind of goes all the way and just says, yeah, I'm totally hot for this kid. And that was pretty enjoyable. But then actually seeing Todoroki's room and it screams Japanese, and I looked at it, it's like, oh my god, he added frames into that room. He like did construction to get that going. And when the boys actually called him out on this, he just said he worked hard. And that's just, it's fundamentally different from everyone else. Yeah, Todoroki, he wants his comfort. He's going to build his room. He's just going to do it all in an afternoon. And how his fire and his ice power is going to help him with that? Oh, no way it's going to help him, because otherwise he would have burnt down the whole place. That boy has serious mad construction skills. Where did he get them from? That's something that we need to know. Put that in a future chapter, please. Next moment I really enjoyed was seeing Sato's room and his ability to bake. So this is effectively a room where its only feature is the fact that he has an oven or a little microwave or something, or microwave oven that he can use to bake stuff. I'm pretty sure it's not a microwave, it might just be an oven. Anyway, he can bake, and that's, if everyone knows, girls love sweets, so automatically it makes sense that the girls would go all crazy for the cake. And it was a nice moment because we got some characterization on Sato, and I'm very happy about that because he is, I think, the most underdeveloped character. So at least seeing that he has this kind of little talent, even though it makes sense since his quirk is around sugar consumption, it makes sense that he would have learned to make sugary things that he could eat. Next moment was Jiro's room, and I liked the little characterization we got with Jiro. Of course, it makes sense that she would have a lot of instruments, but if you look at the panels, you'll see that she's actually playing with her jacks as everyone's critiquing it. So I think it's really adorable that she does have that little quirk, no pun intended, of just playing with her jacks. It really makes the quirks seem more integrated into their everyday life when they become something of a habit, right? I also enjoyed when she hurt Kaminari and Naval Boy for making fun of her. The next moment I really enjoyed was Haguruku's room and Mineta peeping. Of course it makes sense that Mineta would peep on the invisible girl because the invisible girl is an object of his otherworldly perverted desires. He does very much want to see what kind of panties the invisible girl wears, and he stayed true to that. How could I not respect? I don't respect that. That kid's got problems. Moving on, the next moment I really enjoyed, and this is just going to be two together because their rooms weren't that incredible, was Ashiro's funky room and Ochiko's normal room. So yeah, that's all cool. If you notice, Ochiko had rice cakes or rice balls ready. That was neat. Anyway, moving on. Ojiro and Tokoyami's sidebar made the next little moment because we got a little funny comment from Tokoyami, which was the Forbidden Gardens. So this shows to me that Tokoyami, despite him playing it cool, and we saw it last chapter, he can be frazzled pretty easily, and I think he was pretty frazzled seeing the girls' rooms. I'm pretty sure he's a boy, right? He's all kinds of excited. It's like wow, 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 and I just think it's funny to see him calling it the Forbidden Gardens. He's trying so hard to keep it cool, but it's not going very well. And now, switching into like the last half of the chapter, it wasn't even a half, last third of a chapter. It was the segue into Tsuyu not feeling well and thus not being able to see her room. Now, from the panel construction, at first I thought, wait, what's going on? Like, is something going on? But from the way the panels were constructed with Ochiko looking back at Tsuyu, it told me, okay, it's nothing that serious. It's nothing like game changer. Because Ochiko seemed to be aware of the situation when she was looking back at Tsuyu's door. And we get confirmation of that later on. Anyway, before that, we got to see Momo's high classness, which was, it was funny to see. I forget, Momo is a rich girl, and seeing her bring in her bed was, the bed's taking up all the space. She could do without the bed. Next moment I really enjoyed was Sato winning, and I really feel he deserved the win because it just showed a bit more of his character when he was happy about the win, and he deserves it. He deserves it. I really think, like, in terms of the most underdeveloped character, just give him a win. I think that was nice, and it was nice to see the guys happy. And now we move in to pay off that thing that was set up earlier with Tsuyu, and it was, this is pretty much my favorite moment. It was Tsuyu's heartfelt talk and her crying. That's the panels of her crying, and it's a really nice moment because this is a character who is very self-aware. She knows that she's very blunt, and I think she's very frank, so she ends up being very frank with herself. So I'm sure she's aware of her own downfalls. And in this situation, you have a situation where she was put in a situation, well, I said situation like 3 times, where she just didn't know what to do. And because she didn't know what to do, she just had to say what naturally would have been said. And that was the comment about being no better than villains. But once you find out that there's something you said, and you know, even though you were disqualifying it, hoping that maybe they won't do anything about it, when you find out that people actually acted on it, then what you said becomes irrelevant, and it just becomes extremely mean-spirited because they pulled it off and they actually went through with it despite your efforts of stopping them. So it's this feeling of futility, and I think it was really expressed very well with Tsuyu because she has this, she knows she said something terrible, and she knows she didn't stop them, and she knows that they still went, and like she said, shocked her beyond belief that they would still do it. And when that happens, it's just her worth in saying that was effectively reduced to nothing because it just seemed like she was hiding away from herself. And it's not like the situation is making it seem like she was hiding away or being cowardly about it. It's just the fact of the matter is she knows at the end of the day she was being cowardly about it. And it's nice to see her coming face to face with that kind of feeling. And it's even nicer to see that she couldn't let it go, because it does show that it really did matter to her. Like, she legitimately did regret saying the things as badly as she said it. And I think it's very nice that we got this moment with Tsuyu, because it does go further in the characterization. How could I not enjoy that? And especially because I really wanted to turn this into a Tsuyu Deku moment, but no. Tsuyu stands here on her own. And, you know, people might say it's too emotional, but at the end of the day, they're teenagers. Emotion is what they do. Emotion, like, being a teenager is being in the middle of a storm of emotion. That's just how it works. That's just how the brains operate. To see that she's actually embracing her feelings, and to see that she's actually being really mature about it and accepting her downfalls in this matter, you know, it's totally like respect worthy. How could you not respect that? So overall, I very much enjoyed that moment. It was a great moment, and it was nice seeing all the characters get around her. And the next moment was Ochiko's justification and seeing her kind of stumble on her words. Yeah, it makes sense because it's not a very easy situation to try and rationalize, because the kids were suddenly thrust into a world where they had the choice of saving their friend from being kidnapped. They actually did it. It came to the point where they actually did it. So it's not a very easy situation. But the kids really do just want to get back to regular child days and not have to worry about, the villains. Which is why I'm really happy this happened. And now with the setup at the end of the chapter with them having to develop their special moves, I'm hoping that this little mini arc of peace may continue for maybe it'll continue for 4 more chapters. But now here's the thing, because now I'm done with all the top moments. First off, let's talk about special moves. I don't see the point of special moves because every quirk's thing is a special move, right? Like, are you talking about stun grenade that Bakugo has? I don't really see what a special move is. I could see it from a marketing point of view, like, yeah, this guy has a special move, so you would have naturally marketability. You could have toys and promotions with the special move. So because heroing is such a business endeavor as well, I can see the value of special moves. But otherwise, it's just, I don't know. I don't see the point of it. Like, what's the point of going out of your way to make a special move for combat? I mean, just do it. Like, whatever. It's just part of your quirk. But it's a shonen manga, and it's a hero manga, and I really do think it's because of the marketability of a special move. And now to actually speak about the overall chapter and what we might be going into in the future. Next chapter is chapter 100. The title for this chapter was effectively something like, we're done with the double, or so long to double digits, hello to triple digits. So the author really gave up on giving this chapter a title. He's just happy he got to 100. And now we have to wonder, is something special gonna happen in 100? I was originally going to make a video speculating that maybe there would have been a clue to the traitor in one of the kids' rooms. And of course that implies that one of the kids is the traitor. But maybe we may not get that. But now I'm really wondering, are we going to get something that's just mind-blowing in chapter 100? Are we going to get Hagukure's quirk actually being fully explained? Are we going to get something happening in the background of the chapter, like one of the villains setting something up horrifically? What are we going to get in chapter 100? Is it going to be a big deal? So I'm actually really excited for that. I would like the slice of life arc to kind of continue for a while longer, because I do think the kids deserve the break, and these 2 chapters, I very much enjoyed them. So it'll be actually really interesting to see where we go from here. And I'm actually really excited. So peeps, let me know what you think about this chapter. Overall, I loved it. Let me know if you have anything to say, and I guess till next time. Have a good... Oh, wait, I'll ask you a question. Which room did you like the most? Did Sato deserve the win even though he kind of bribed them with cake? But yeah, anyway, let me know what you think. And till next time, have a good day.